I think we're going here. So this is part 2 of our questions, practice questions. Here we go. A brain tumor that results in obesity would most likely be located where? So left frontal lobe. If we're talking about the left side in AP psychology, they're usually trying to probably refer to speech. Speech or language usually is on your left side of your brain. Base stem of the brain, or base of the brain stem. Remember, brain stem is the oldest part, your reptilian part of your brain. So the base stem is, very basic body functions that keep you alive, like your heartbeat, right? Your medulla is your heartbeat, your breathing rate, your reticular formation is your awareness, which we'll get to in a second. So it's that stuff. So it's probably not B. Area of the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, remember, is the 4 F's. Fight, flight, food. Obesity has to do with food, right? And sex. So we should probably keep an eye on this one. Reticular formation, right? Reticular formation was your arousal. That's in the base. That's in the brainstem. So definitely not reticular formation. And somatosensory cortex, that's your senses. That's not have anything to do with obesity. So, A, if you're unsure, you might think it could possibly be A, but remember hypothalamus, the 4 F's, and it's the hypothalamus is the correct answer. So your answer is C. All right. Next question. For most people, speech functions are primarily localized in the right cerebral hemisphere. If you remember, we cut our cerebral hemispheres, our left and our right. Our right is the more creative or picturesque. So speech, probably not in the right. Left cerebral hemisphere, again, whenever we talk about language and or speech, when a question asks about that, it's usually left side, okay? So left side, this is a classic question that is asking you what side speech. Because remember, in the left side, you've got Broca's area and Wernicke's area. Broca's area is language speech, and Wernicke's area is language comprehension. So both of those are on your left side, right? On most people. This is most people. Occipital lobe, right? That's at the back of your head. That's your vision. Corpus callosum, that's the thick bundle of nerve axon fibers that are going back and forth connecting the left and the right, that connects them. And the cerebellum is at the back of your brain, right? And that's, again, old part of your brain that's for like coordinated movement, basic stuff like that. So our answer is B. People who have experienced severe damage to the frontal lobe of their brain seldom regain their ability to what? Okay, so frontal lobe, make and carry out plans. That sounds about right. Your frontal lobe is your personality. Personality, there we go. Decision making is a big one. And that kind of sounds exactly like what this question, ability to carry out the ability to make and carry out plans. So decision making. Let's continue on. These are two of the big ones, right? Personality and decision making. Recognize visual patterns. Visual patterns is going to be in your occipital lobe, right? That's at the back of your brain. Auditory information's in your temporal lobe, right above your ears. Temporal. Olfactory information. Olfactory information is actually in your frontal lobe, but this is probably not the right answer for this one. So I doubt that they're going to talk about that. It's actually at the very back of your frontal lobe is your olfactory cortex, and then integrate their multiple personalities. Right, multiple personalities is an abnormal condition. Not everybody has it. In fact, maybe nobody has it. Right? There's still the jury's still out on whether that's even a real disease or not. So definitely, let's go with A here. Make and carry out plans. Which of the following is a brain imaging technique that produces the most detailed picture of brain structures? Okay, let's just go through them. Electroencephalogram, right? This is basically just testing out your neural activity. So it's just testing out electricity. This is all you're going to get is a line here, right? Lines of that's all you're getting there. MRI is definitely the most detailed. MRI is really expensive, right? They send a pulse. It takes the atoms in your brain and kind of knocks them over a little bit like a bowling pin. It doesn't quite go all the way over, and when it bounces back, it notices how it bounces back, and it can see a really detailed image of your brain. So MRI is definitely good stuff. Positron emission tomography. This is an X-ray. This is good. Computerized axial tomography, a CAT scan. This we can see. It's a bit more advanced. It can see sort of like an MRI, but it's definitely not as detailed. And then an EMG, we don't need to worry about. It's not a thing we're talking about in psychology. So the answer, most definitely, is MRI. And then finally, the role of the parasympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. So, right, I think I may have mentioned this in the other videos, but whenever you see, whenever you talk about the nervous system, draw out your nervous system map, right? You got your nervous system, just draw it out. So you got your central nervous system, and then your peripheral nervous system, and then, right, this is your brain and spinal cord there. Your peripheral nervous system gets broken up in your somatic and your autonomic, right? And your autonomic is further divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic, right? And I just do this for, I would say, for every time you ever see nervous system, draw out this whole map. And then just by seeing the map, maybe that's going to help you recall this information. Go, oh yeah, seeing that information. So facilitate the body's fight or flight. That's actually the opposite. Fight or flight is the sympathetic nervous system. And para, right, means not. So if sympathetic nervous system's fight or flight, parasympathetic's not fight or flight. So it's the opposite. So what's the opposite of getting ready to fight or flight somebody? Prepare the body to cope with stress. Promote rapid cognitive processing. Those all sound like you're getting ready to fight or run away, right? Prompt the body to use its resources in responding to environmental stimuli. Again, you're getting ready to fight if your body's getting ready to respond. Or establish homeostasis after a fight or flight response, right? So that sounds like it's calming, right? Homeostasis. So fight or flight, everything goes up. Your arousal goes up, your cognitive processing goes up, your ability to handle stress goes up. The only thing that goes down really is your digestion. Your digestion goes down, right? So you don't have to worry about that. But parasympathetic is definitely calming, so it takes it back to homeostasis. Remember, homeostasis is balance. That's where your body kind of wants to be. That's the last of the questions, so thanks and good luck.